Hello and welcome to the Philosopher's Angle, your daily French philosophical take on the news headlines. This is an AI-generated podcast based directly on the writings of the philosophers discussed, but like all AI, it can make mistakes. In the news today, November 2nd, 2024, the U.S. Supreme Court has rejected an appeal from Republicans over Pennsylvania ballots, allowing voters to cast provisional votes if their mail-in ballots were rejected due to technical errors, such as missing secrecy envelopes. The decision could lead to thousands more votes being counted in a key battleground state where the presidential race is tight. Nearly 9,000 out of 1.6 million mail-in ballots returned had arrived without a secrecy envelope, and NBC News estimated that thousands of votes could be affected. Commentary inspired by the writings of Jacques Ellul. The technological straitjacket: how institutional rules undermine democratic participation. In the aftermath of the U.S. Supreme Court's ruling on Pennsylvania ballots, the tension between democratic participation and institutional rules has reached a fever pitch. As Jacques Ellul incisively observed in The Political Illusion, the expansion of political affairs can have a corrosive effect on individuals, reducing them to mere automatons within a vast bureaucratic apparatus. This phenomenon is particularly pronounced in the context of technological advancements, which have led to an increasing reliance on technical processes and institutional services. In this light, the Supreme Court's decision can be seen as a double-edged sword. On one hand, it allows voters to cast provisional votes if their mail-in ballots were rejected due to technical errors, thereby safeguarding their right to participate in the democratic process. On the other hand, it highlights the ways in which institutional rules and technical procedures can serve to disenfranchise citizens, reducing them to mere consumers of services rather than active participants in the democratic process. As Ellul noted in The Technological Society, the state is not a neutral, impartial institution, but an instrument of domination and control. In this context, the Supreme Court's decision can be seen as a reflection of the broader power dynamics at play in American society. By allowing voters to cast provisional votes, the court has effectively acknowledged that institutional rules and technical procedures are not always aligned with the interests of citizens. However, this acknowledgement also raises questions about the nature of democracy itself. Is it possible for democratic participation to be reduced to a set of technical procedures, or does it require a more profound transformation of societal structures? As Ellul suggested in The Political Illusion, the illusion of democracy is that it can be reduced to a mere technical process, whereas in reality it requires a much deeper level of engagement and participation. In this sense, the Supreme Court's decision can be seen as a missed opportunity for more profound reform. Rather than simply allowing voters to cast provisional votes, the court could have used its ruling to challenge the underlying institutional rules and technical procedures that led to the disenfranchisement of citizens in the first place. Ultimately, the tension between democratic participation and institutional rules is a manifestation of a deeper societal malaise, a struggle for power and control in American society. As Ellul noted, the growth of political affairs can have a suffocating effect on individuals, rendering them mere cogs in a vast machine. However, it is also possible for citizens to resist this process, to reclaim their agency and participate in the democratic process in more meaningful ways. The Supreme Court's decision may have been a small step in the right direction, but it is only a beginning. As Ellul suggested, true democracy requires a more profound transformation of societal structures, one that challenges the dominance of institutional rules and technical procedures and empowers citizens to participate in more meaningful ways. Only then can we begin to build a more just and equitable society, one in which citizens are not mere consumers of services, but active participants in the democratic process. Thank you for listening to today's episode of The Philosopher's Angle. Be sure to come back tomorrow for another reflective take on the day's news.